This is probably one of the main things that's holding us back from meditating. Alright, as a meditation teacher, I'm constantly looking for clues on why people don't meditate. We have plenty of research now proving that it's good for us and that it can benefit us in more ways than one. So, why don't we do it? Well, let's start off by looking at it this way, just as an example. If we have trouble at home, maybe something happened and you're not getting along well with the people you live with. Maybe you're arguing a little bit too much with your partner. You decide and justify it to yourself that you both need space. However, due to this, you start spending more time away from home. You start to find it easier. Pretty soon you end up wanting to stay at work instead of going home. Essentially, it becomes easier to avoid it. And of course, it becomes much easier to dismiss the situation when it's not right there in front of us. So, we all know this happens all the time. I've seen it countless amounts of times at my old workplace. And we've all helped our mates when they're going through a rough patch with their partners. You see, in this case it's clear. We know we're avoiding something because we're physically staying away from it. We don't want to be at that place where we feel uncomfortable. We'd rather not deal with it, so we avoid the hell out of it. Apart from where we physically reside though, where else do we spend a lot of time? Where do we spend the most time out of any place? That's right, our minds. What a lot of us may not see or realize is that many of us may be choosing to ignore and stay away from a lot of the issues that need tending to in our minds. It's just easier to avoid. And this is exactly what meditation's for. As well as keeping us calm and relieving us from anxiety, amongst other things, it also helps us keep our minds clean and in good working order. It helps us have a good relationship with ourselves. It's funny too, if we start to think in a certain way, then our minds will start to support us in the way we're thinking. They're good and bad in that way. We have this amazing state-of-the-art security defense system called confirmation bias. If we come across any negative information regarding meditation, we end up agreeing with it and swaying towards it, as it's supporting our reasons for not doing it in the first place. You see, meditation can be like having a good hard look at yourself, but to do it properly, we gotta do it every day. So we're essentially giving ourselves a beautiful opportunity to have a good hard look at ourselves every day. A lot of people are not going to want to do that. It can be super uncomfortable. It's just way more appealing to watch Netflix or do something else to take your mind off it. The problem is that in this situation, it is your mind.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
You might not even be realizing that you're avoiding it, but you are. And just like the person mentioned before, who's staying away from home because they just don't want to deal with it. As we know, if you choose to avoid something that really needs tending to for long enough, then it's 100% going to turn to shit. So, how can we battle this conundrum? Well, being aware of it is one thing, and it's a great start, but also having a growth mindset really helps too. Before I started doing what I'm doing now, I used to work at an electrical goods store. Now the reason I bring this up is that this one night I learned something, and it stuck with me to this day. Now this night in question was many years ago. The company only really just started to sell phone contracts. Yeah, I know, it was ages ago. Anyways, only a handful of people in the company knew how to sell them really well. Phone contracts are confusing as shit. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff you need to know, as well as all this legal jargon that you can and can't say. At that time, our salespeople were much happier at selling laptops and TVs, pretty much anything except phone contracts. And I get it, they wanted to stick with what they knew. It was much easier and much more comfortable. So anyways, we were at this info night and it was held at one of our biggest stores. And when you walked in, there was this really big banner. On it was a phrase. It said, "Get comfortable being uncomfortable." It really got me thinking, and I have to say that that phrase was my first introduction to what having a growth mindset was all about. I thought to myself, if I could do that, then I could seriously do anything. I thought it was great, as you could literally apply that phrase to any aspect in life. You see, as humans, we tend to find it easier to avoid the things that seem difficult in life. But if we start doing them a little bit every day, then naturally we get more comfortable. And the more we do that, we start to avoid less. We start to learn that there's a small hill to jump over. But once we're over, we can always see the road to comfort. Next time you may be going through a certain situation that might be a little difficult, try and remember that phrase. It's always helped me. Eventually you do get comfortable. And if you can get comfortable with a daily meditation practice, you'll start to find that it gets much easier to get comfortable with any situation in life. If this video has given you value, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future content. I'm Alex, I'll see you next week. Later, Meditator.